Hello and welcome to another edition of the Big Freakin' Friday Show on the College Football Mafia Network. I'm your host, Nathan Bomber Brown, with me are my partners, and all that I do and say when we're online. That would be Wild Ute and Moen. How you guys doing tonight?
Happy Friday.
Happy
Happy
Friday,
Friday.
everybody. Happy New Year to everybody.
Yes,
Happy New Year.
absolutely. Thanks for saying that, Moen. It is a new year, and with new year comes new pain associated with the transfer portal and coaching changes. We're going to spend a little bit of time talking about that tonight, as well as, boy, rough, Moen. Last year, I told you, and then you joined me. The bye week was going to be a big
I
bugger, big
now
bugger.
listen. No, because see
Yeah,
that takes away from the teams that won, and I think that's wrong.
You mean it
See
takes
that
away from
I get,
Indiana?
I think
it
they
ta-
could both be
no
right
no
at
no
the
no
same
no no no.
time.
I think it takes away from Miami. I think it
Oh.
takes away from Ole Miss. I think it takes away from Oregon. Just
I
going
don't.
based on I think Indiana. Look, Indiana showed up and showed out. I don't think it's
Yeah,
a bye week issue. It's obviously an issue with individual teams not preparing properly.
7 out of 8.
Okay, 7 out of 8. Okay.
That's
Well, they
that's a number
obviously
that
weren't
is
ready.
stark. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I,
this
I
one's pretty clear to me that it's a huge disadvantage to have an extended bye week, guys. Having a month off is not the same as having a week off. And I don't care what team you're looking at. Like it's a different game if both teams are coming in cold. 100%. Like I want to see the spread lines for all these upsets and everything because I guarantee you that the spreads favored the teams that are getting upset here because they're the better team. I really think they're the better team. I think it's just the circumstance they got put in. So that's my take. I know it's like exact opposite of Moen's, but I mean, we've been talking about this for months.
well, I think both could be true. I think what Moen is saying is accurate. Those guys, those teams deserve respect. They went in on the road and at a neutral site and won a football game. And I don't want to take anything away from a Miami or an Indiana for that matter, who was playing on the road too, right? These are all road games. I think what we're seeing is the dynamic is you play until you lose, and you're given lots of time off. You're going to pay a price for that. I don't know. 1-7 is pretty stark to me, and I think this might be the last year, hopefully, of the bye weeks. I hope maybe next year we go to 16 teams, no bye weeks. Games start right after the season ends, and you finish by New Year's. Just go
I
through.
think,
Everybody plays.
yeah, if you have a bye week, really just 1 week after the season, like so basically just a true bye week, not like a 3 or 4 week bye week,
Right.
a true
Right.
1 week bye week. That's a
Yeah.
huge advantage because you're not risking injury, you're healing up, you still have momentum, you're not off and rusty. It's like basically starting the season over for some of these teams and stuff. And you come versus seriously, like looking at Texas Tech, I was telling you guys this, like Texas Tech versus Oregon. I hated that matchup, and I hated the fact that Oregon was going to get hot versus JMU and come in and put it to Texas Tech. Is
Yeah.
exactly what happened. 0 points for a Texas Tech offense that had been explosive all year long.
Yeah.
Seriously, that did not help them being off for a full month and having Oregon warm up on JMU. It didn't help at all. So I think that it created an unfair advantage for all these teams, including Texas Tech.
But how do you explain Indiana?
Indiana's the exception, not the
I
norm.
think Indiana's been the
Seven
exception all
seven
season,
cases
though.
of the opposite versus one.
Yeah.
I mean, Indiana's just a freak. I mean, like Indiana's inexplicable. I don't get anything that's going on in Indiana right now. It makes no sense. It defies logic. It's not like they have exceptional recruiting. It's not like I don't get it. Like it's almost like scary kind of how that could be. I don't even get it.
Every team outside of the Georgia Ole Miss game that lost was outclassed.
Yeah.
Alabama was outclassed. Texas Tech was outclassed. Ohio
Yeah,
State
it was hard to argue that.
outclassed.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Like,
think
are you
there's
talking
something.
talent wise or like
I'm talking
coaching?
I'm talking
Preparation,
preparation, coaching decisions, talent, whatever you want to credit that loss to. Texas Tech got outclassed by Oregon.
Yeah, there's
They
no
did.
doubt about it.
Defensively, Oregon was solid defensively. JMU, I think, put up more offense on Oregon than Texas Tech
They
did.
were playing third and fourth stringers, though. Come on. That second half doesn't really count, Moen, but I get your point. I think
still,
your
it's
point has value,
23-0.
right?
That's 23 zip.
It was not
Pretty
good.
damn good.
It
Pretty
was
damn
not
good.
Not a good.
Indiana 31-3. Jesus, Alabama. And this is coming off Alabama getting hot against Oklahoma.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
argument, Oregon.
I think Indiana is inexplicable, though. I think that's a good word. They are.
Like,
I mean,
they
we're
don't
not
have
the only
better
ones.
recruits. Like what? Like they don't. I don't understand it at all. Like like in this new era of college football, they don't have the highest payroll. I don't get it. Like, what did Kurt Signetti do? What deal did he make to have this football team? That's what I want to know.
Well, you know how the Germans ran over the French. The way they were able to in World War II is they were all hopped up on drugs. So maybe Signetti's putting something in the water over there. But I agree with you guys. They are by far the best team still in the field. Now, can Oregon get hot and get in there and score enough points? I think that's going to be the problem, is that nobody can hold them down, including Ohio State. There's been nobody that's looked. Who was it that they had one game they won by like 7 or 10 points?
They beat Ohio State by 3.
Okay, so there you go. They had one game, and it was against the best team, the other team in the Big Ten. So I don't know. This is the future, though. Kurt Signetti's got into something, and I think the question will be, after the season is over. Well, let's do the math really quick. The portal, it goes from the 2nd to 19th. Is that right? Do I have that right? 17 days?
2-week period. Yeah, it might be 17. I thought it was 14.
It might be 14. Anyway, that last day, is it after the championship game, Moen?
Let's see. The championship game's on the 19th. So
yeah, that's rough. So that means those kids that are on that Indiana team, let's talk about it, right now need to make a decision. Like, there have been a plethora of Oregon people already in the transfer portal. We haven't seen anybody from Indiana. Does Indiana stick around, or do teams come in and steal their coaches and try to steal their best players? I think if they don't go in the portal, you can't pick them up, right? So Indiana could keep this thing going if they keep winning.
Oh yeah. Listen, Indiana, what can we say? That's the difference a coach can make.
Yes, that's true. Yep.
Completely turned that program around. It was the least winning program in NCAA history.
Yeah.
And in the last year, they've lost, 2 games? One game. I think it's insane. 1 game.
It's insane how well they've
2 games. 2 games. They lost to Ohio State and Notre Dame last year. They're undefeated this year.
I give Indiana all the kudos, all the flowers that they have earned. I think that comes with it. Let's see. We might have to get used to saying Indiana, the 2026 national champion. I mean, that could easily happen. And if that does, I've already came in already loaded. If Indiana wins, I'm going to pay for an Indiana pen, and I'll put it up behind me for a week or two, because that is mass kudos. I cannot think of any other way that they could do better than they already are. And I want to give them their flowers. So I'm going to buy something and display it so they know that I'm thinking about them. Anyway, so we're going to talk about that, and then we'll talk about transfer portal. We also talk about coaching moves. It is not small to say that the move of Utah getting rid of Kyle Whittingham was earth-shattering. He has blown up entire rosters across 3 or 4, maybe upwards of 10 different staffs for coaches, and players are just bleeding, hemorrhaging from some programs. Luckily, BYU hasn't lost one to Michigan yet, but there's been some big recruits names out of Utah, and then he's doing damage around the Big 12. He's not just sitting in one place. He's going to try to pick up the best talent wherever they can. So we'll try to talk about that. And then we will get back to the quarterfinal games. I want you guys' feedback on each one of them. I think we need to sort of detail through those games and see where you think the teams really did well or lost it at the end of the day. The Ole Miss game, I would say that of all the games, that's the one that's most inexplicable because their coach left. So the coach that left is winning. That's crazy.
I think it was like Ohio State last year that lost to Michigan, pushed them to the championship.
Maybe.
I think losing Lane Kiffin may push them all the way to the national championship.
Their hate coaching. Their hate coaching. They're trying to win a national championship off of him leaving. That would be ironic if there's any.
Lane Kiffin is a petty man, guys. The more we see this stuff, what he's trying to pull with the coaches and everything, with the players, a petty guy. Look, he wins and stuff, but like he's no champion. He's not a champion yet.
No.
And his team without him might be a champion. I want to see him stick it to him because he's one of the biggest jerks I've ever seen in coaching ever. Right?
Agreed.
Jerk.
I completely agree with you. Let's get to some super chats. We also have a little business to do with a gifted membership. So let's bust through those guys before we get to shout outs. Evil Badger in the house. Good to have you here, Wisconsin. Where are we doing? What are we doing over there with Wisconsin anymore? I don't have any Wisconsin news. But certainly Evil Badger, Ryan Willie, we stand up for you and we appreciate you being here. Thank you for seeing us through to another season, off season, I should say. And big things are coming for us for sure. $10 super chat. He says, my hatred of the SEC is so high that I guess I have to root for Miami to Ole Miss, but beat Ole Miss. But if we'll root for the Big Ten for the Natty, that would be Indiana or Oregon. Hatred scale SEC 10, Miami 9.9. You hate Miami still? That's Ben. Just turn the page, Ryan. Anyway, so $10 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Ryan. We appreciate it. $5 super chat from Caden the Diesel Freak. Good to have you here, Caden. You and Ryan Will. You want to give you guys your flowers? We'll have a little bit of sounders at the end of this. So I know Caden is an Ohio State fan, so I don't know how he feels right now, but $5 super chat. Thank you. Moen, Ohio State will be back and win the national championship. Go Bucks.
That's what I told people. I said we still got 9 national championships. We won a national championship last year. Beat our arch rival this year. Disappointing, but still a lot of good stuff happened this year, especially with a freshman quarterback.
I like it. Stay positive. That's
right.
What I take from that. Another one, $5 Heartbreak, $5 super chat. Heartbreak is a newer member to the College Football Mafia family. Everybody, please welcome him. We appreciate him being here and returning to the show. $5 super chat from him saying, Bomber asked about OSU's flaws to begin the season. Moen responded with OSU is flawless. I hope we all acknowledge every team will be flawed in this era. You've put as a trailer for this show in the tweet, you said is the dynasty era over? I want you guys to think about that. We're going to circle back to it in just a minute. I'm going to do a couple more shout outs and then we'll get back to that question because I think that we do need to consider. We may be at that point. Appreciate you being here, Heartbreak. Thank you very much for your tweet or for your super chat. Becky Go Huskies in the house, contributor extraordinaire for Washington Huskies. Always helps us around here. We appreciate you, Becky. Member for 22 months, Moen, 22 months. Let's go. Let's go. I love it. There we go. You mean the same Oregon team that allowed 34 points to JMU? No one saw that defense doing this. No one. You're right, Becky. Nobody did. I agree with you. Nobody did see it. And then one more. Caden the Diesel Freak is gifting a membership, Moen. Let's go.
Let's go. I don't have my YouTube window up. I don't know who that went to, but whoever that went to, make sure you thank Caden the Diesel Freak for gifting you that membership to the College Football Mafia. Now you have access to all the College Football Mafia perks, including access to Moen Confidential videos. Be a new Moen Confidential video out at some point this week. Not this week, but next week.
Let's go is right. You want to do some sounders for all those posts?
I will. Let's do a little semi-pro.
Look, there's nothing in the rule book that says you can't play drunk.
That's for you, Caden. We'll give one
3 Badgers. Badgers? Badgers? We don't need no stinking Badgers.
Little one for you, and then for Becky, we can dig it.
Can you dig it?
Let's go.
Can you dig it? Can
You dig it.
I love it. Let's go. What's next?
Let's do a little Utes.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
What is a Ute?
Moan.
Oh boy, BR70 DM62. You're the new membership. You have the new membership via that gift from Caden the Diesel Freak. We appreciate you being here and definitely dive into those new new member videos. We have all kinds of member videos in the library. And this offseason, we're going to be doing a bunch more. We're going to dive more into the CFP and those meetings. Evidently, January 29th, I saw Brett Yormark has come out and said now he's put his stake in the ground for 16 teams. He still wants the 5 auto bids for the top champions. So he obviously doesn't think it's important to have the ACC get in there every year, but he says 5 top champions. And they will meet again several times before the January 29th date. So do you guys have any thoughts on that about, I guess we still got 3 weeks to go in that 4 weeks actually to go in that whole deal as we count down to the CFP.
Why in the world is Yormark supporting a 5-11? Like, why? What's the purpose of this? Is he trying to nuke the Big 12 conference? Does he see multiple playoff bids, especially after the Texas Tech loss 23-0?
Yeah.
The guy needs to wake the freak up. Like, I'm really starting to question his capacity as a leader of this conference. I'm about to ready to push this guy out seriously. Like, hey, it was great. You won in the Pac-12 realignment, but wake the freak up and take your auto bids, dude. This is a joke. This is not going to work. We've been talking about it for years. Get real about this. You will never win a beauty contest, especially after the performances the last 2 years. It pisses me off to no end. It's basically like a doom for never getting in the playoff unless you win the freaking Big 12 conference. Wake up, take a 4-2-2. I don't care what you take. Just get more than one team in the dang playoff. Wake up, Bray Yormark. Seriously. It pisses me off, man.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I'm way over the top with him now at this point. I mean, he's built a super basketball conference. There's no argument there. I think him continuing to parrot what Greg Sankey has said for 3 years is just god awful, and I don't understand it. Nobody can explain it to me. So we need more auto bids. I love going to 16. 16, the Big 12 would have had 3 teams in this year. And that would have been great, but you can't win games if you're not invited. 5 teams from the SEC, and all of them are out except for 1.
Nate, like, my question is this: like, it seems like 3 Big 12 teams would get in a 16-team field, but how many of them would get butt? Utah would have got butt out somehow.
That's true.
And like in the beauty contest. Like, my point is,
true.
you will never, ever, ever win the beauty contest. Ever.
I agree with that.
Unless you basically have like a 1-loss team. Like BYU was a 1-loss team.
Brutal, absolutely brutal. And BYU does work and goes out and wins games, and another back-to-back year where BYU has the biggest attended and viewed non-college football playoff bowl game. BYU brings in almost 9 million fans last year. They did 9.2. Those are record-breaking for those 2 bowl games they participated in. So, got to get in the playoff. I don't know what else needs to change, but it's getting crazy.
Okay, I got to say this because, like, I heard so much in the Pac-12 era and stuff, the hubris of Utah, the hubris of the Pac-12, hubris, arrogance, hubris. It's the hubris of the Big 12, man. Let's be honest about this. Let's get real as Big 12 fans that we are not on the same level as the Big 10 and the SEC. We're not. Get real about it. Real talk, real. Look at the beauty pageant. Get over it. It's not. Quit the hubris. Take a 4-4-2-2. If you get a 4-4-3-3, great. You ain't never getting a 4-4-4-4. That's just not realistic. And Frank 12 doesn't deserve it, guys. How would you deserve that with your great playoff performances? Like, no, it's not deserved. You are not at the same level. Accept it. Take what you get, so you get in the freaking playoff. I'm sick of it. I want to see our teams get in the playoff without having to win this freaking conference.
Yes.
It's hard enough to win your conference.
Yes.
Never having access to another spot is ridiculous. Give me 2 automatic bids. Give the SEC and the Big 10 4, 5, 6, whatever. I just want to see more than one team in. I'm not sure we're ever going to see it unless we've got auto bids. The Big 12 hubris is an issue. Get over it. Accept it. It's reality.
Very good. Marcus Williams, $2 super chat. Thank you very much, Marcus. Happy New Year to you and yours. $2 super chat saying, I just want to say thank you, Bomber and Ute. Go Blue. Michigan in the house. So let's quickly dabble in where Michigan is right now. Michigan hired away Jason Beck, the offensive coordinator for the record-setting Utah Utes from this year. And then he went and took BYU's defensive coordinator. It was record-setting defense at BYU. And now Michigan has reloaded Moen. So my question goes to you. Is there anything there that is a little pause for consideration from your standpoint?
Whittingham, I don't know. We're going to have to see who sticks around at Michigan first.
Right.
If they can
Okay.
keep Bryce Underwood there, they got a shot. And he pulled off some decent plays in the bowl game. I know it was not a winning bowl game for him, but
Right.
he looked decent enough. I mean, he's still developing, freshman quarterback, but I think they've got to secure the talent there. If they can secure the talent and keep kids there, I think they'll be okay.
Your thoughts. You're the one who's been the most impacted by all this.
Like from the Michigan standpoint, like it's win now. I mean, Whittingham's 66, guys. Like you
Yep.
sign up for a 5-year deal. Is he gonna coach till 71, 72? I don't know. I doubt it. He'd been going year to year with Utah for years. So
Yep.
in my view, if I'm a Michigan fan, you've got a 2 or 3 year window. And so like here's the thing, is like when Whittingham leaves, the cupboard's going to be very bare at Michigan because he's going to bring in a lot of transfer players. He has a lot of Utah specific, BYU specific staff that he's built to win now with transfer players probably from Utah and BYU that will end up coming over, in my view. And like Utah, it's already happened. A couple players declared today they're going to go to Michigan. Smith Snowden's going to go to Michigan.
Yeah,
right?
that was
Kyle
news.
Johnson. Yeah, like, and I expect more. Maybe John Henry Daly goes to Michigan, right? Like, so he's going to get some cream.
Yeah,
sure, but look, guys, like, I mean, Michigan has 5-star talent already.
Yeah,
like let's be real. Like, I mean, these guys are all-star players, but it's not a talent issue in Michigan; it's a coaching issue. So, like, you've got a 2-year window, 3-year window to get this done. But like, with the lack of recruiting ties in the Midwest that they have on that staff, I'm really concerned. Like, if they don't win with Whittingham over the next 2 years, what that program is going to look like. It might be more of a rebuild actually after Whittingham leaves. To be honest with you, he's got a shot of winning a championship. He's got an excellent coaching staff, but they are not recruiting for the long term or the intermediate. It's win now and everything today. And so I think it could work, but it could blow up too. And we will see. The talent needs to stay. The Mon nailed it. If they have a bunch of transfer talent, I don't care what you pluck from Utah and BYU, they aren't going to win the Big Ten if they don't retain the talent on their roster, straight up and stuff, even with the excellent coaches they have. So it's really a kind of weird mix of kind of what's going on with Whittingham. It could end wonderfully with the national championship next year or the year after, or it could win with mediocrity and like a bare cupboard after 3 years. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Harbaugh left a lot of bones when he took off. The program really lost a lot after he walked out the door. Sharon Moore, all of us said it at the time, he was not head coaching material. And now we know why. We all had that weird feeling when we talked about him. There was something seriously wrong with that dude. And I think if Kyle is ready to win in the next 2 years, he can do it. But as Moen said, if they don't retain the coaches that have all the contacts in the Midwest and really, really strong coaching into the upper Northeast, it's going to be tough for him to recruit in those areas because he doesn't have traditional ties there. So is that probably his biggest challenge, Bowen? It's not about integrating with coaches. They know their jobs, bringing them in and teaching kids. They can work on new programs really quick on defense and offense. But if you don't know how to recruit in the Steel Belt, you don't know how to recruit in Indiana and Illinois, steal the best players as Michigan normally does. There is a risk, right?
Here's the best news for Kyle Whittingham. He's at a blue blood program. Kids in the Steel Belt, the Rust Belt, they grew up watching Michigan, idolizing Michigan, understanding that Michigan's one of the elite programs in college football. That's going to take away some of the, I don't know how to recruit. He's got the Michigan brand behind him, and that brand's going to be tremendously helpful.
Okay. All right. Very good. I love that analysis. Really good thoughts. I hadn't thought about some of those things. I think that is smart, something to pay attention to, certainly as we go into 2026. LC versus the Earth. Yes, I know how to say your name. Good to have you here. LC is a new valuable member of the College Football Mafia family. Good to have you here. Halftime in Ann Arbor. Just wanted to tell everyone, Happy New Year. Fight on.
Okay. Well, hopefully you're winning.
I love it. Good to see you, LC. Thank you so much for all you've done for the College Football Mafia family, and we appreciate you sticking around. Thank you very much. And then Moen, you did something crazy here. What is this all about?
We gifted 5 memberships to the
Woo-hoo.
community. I pulled up my YouTube window, so now I know. It was Mad Dog, GB, Ronnie Johansson, Timothy Green,
Woo! Let's go.
Sterling Holland, and the Moon Man, who received gifted memberships to the College Football Mafia family. Please enjoy those memberships for 30 days at no cost.
Well, Moen has a video coming out too. So
Yeah.
Moen, tell us about the video. Let's go.
It's going to be building off my last video. So, spoiler alert, I don't want to spoil my last video if you haven't seen it yet. But
Okay.
it's building off of that new information that probably is not going to make people in the Big 12 or ACC very happy.
Okay, that's quite the tease. Is there anything else you can give us? Is this all wizard magic that you're telling us about, or what?
It's a wizardry.
It'll make people in the Big 10 and SEC happy. People in the Big 12 and ACC not so happy.
Sounds like a poll away.
I still don't think that's anytime coming, but I appreciate it. That's awesome. Thank you, Moen, for giving those memberships. Definitely dive in if you're a new member around here. There are a few old dogs in there. The Timothy Green popping his head up again. Good to have you as a member again, Timothy. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thanks for all you do. Rock and Rant pops his head in. The victorious Miami Hurricanes, who right now for me are my rooting favorite is Miami. I would love Miami to win the whole thing, but we'll have to see. These new matchups coming up this next week are going to be crazy. Rock, $10 super chat, also contributor, moderator. Some of you just helps us every way which we go and come. We appreciate you, Rock. Happy New Year's to La Familia. La Familia. I don't think I have that Latin in me to say that right. Can you say that, you?
La Familia.
There you go. Thank you.
La Familia.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much, Rock. We appreciate all that you've done for us. So it's really quick run through, and we'll do some comments. I hit the wrong button. Sorry. To start the show, let's do some shout outs really quick. Big Lubbock is. Oh, please. Yeah.
Sounders?
Yeah.
Thank you. LC versus the Earth. He's a USC guy.
Let's go.
I want to give him a little fight song. Marcus Williams, he's a Michigan fan, so I want to give him a little fight song.
Okay.
Not Michigan's fight song, but I'll give you a little fight song.
Come on now.
And for Rock, let me see what we have.
Do you have a hurricane? Do you have a hurricane sounder in there?
I think we need a pimpin' it.
There you go. I could do this all night. Let's just play that over and over again. I could do that. Dance on Mafia channel tonight. Anyway, thank you so much, Moen, for doing all those sounders. I'm sure everybody appreciates them. Big Lubbock was indeed the first in the house. Good to have you here, Lubbock. Sorry to see what happened. I don't really have words for what we saw. We know Oregon's good, and I tell you what, Texas Tech's defense, incredible. They did not lose because it's like when BYU lost to Texas Tech or when Utah lost to Texas Tech, the defenses were fantastic. It was the offenses that couldn't score. In this case, it was the reverse. And I was really surprised how violent Oregon played. Do you guys notice that? They were playing much tougher than I think maybe I've seen any Oregon team in my lifetime.
Dan Lanning's a good motivator.
Yeah. They actually are a bigger football team than they were 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like they really are. They've got the speed still, but they look like an SEC powerhouse team.
They are built
like on the field. That's what they look like.
Yeah.
Different.
Different. I like that. That's the right way to put it. It is different. It's not the Oregon that we've all made fun of over the years, even when they won. It was easy to bring in skill position players. Not so easy to bring in offensive and defensive line and linebackers. Those are guys they're very difficult to recruit. This Oregon team, I hate to say it, could win the whole thing. Could win the whole thing if they play like they did against Texas Tech. Well, let's see. Let's see. Conundrum in the house. Good to have you here, Conundrum. First bull goose. Chicken and egg. I don't know. What's that mean, Moen?
First bowl goose egg.
Oh,
I think
goose egg.
it's 0.
Zero. Yeah, he's talking about
Yeah.
Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's
Let's see
right.
here. Evil Badger says my earlier comments disappeared. Do you know what he's
That's
talking about there, Mo?
It's a YouTube bug. I don't know. I tweeted
Okay.
YouTube support on it, and it probably went somewhere in Indonesia and disappeared
Okay.
from there.
All right. All right. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Caden the Diesel Freak says this is awful. I'm not sure what he's talking about, but it must be Ohio State. That would be my
Probably.
guess. Let's see. Kyo, sorry. Kiowa.
Kai Ohio 187 says, I knew the SEC started to fall from grace when Nick Saban went wild ass crazy about the NIL victory for the college athletes at the Supreme Court. SEC schools do not have big money to compete in NIL.
Ding, ding,
So-
ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, let's see.
Exactly.
That teed you up right there. Go ahead.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for a long time on this channel. It's 100% nails. The SEC does not have the depth. They do not have the best resources. That is in the Big Ten Conference, all in all. And you're going to see continual Big Ten championships. Like, look, Ole Miss is more of like a feel-good story. I don't see them winning the next game versus Miami, guys.
No,
Miami's favored by 3. Miami's hot. I think the SEC doesn't make the championship a game again, and the Big Ten's going to win it with either Oregon or Indiana. And so that's going to be 3 consecutive titles for the Big Ten. The SEC won't even be in the title, and I don't even want to hear the argument anymore. You haven't made the championship in 3 years. It just means more, right? It just means more. No more. You can't talk anymore. Like, you aren't the conference you once were. There's a fall from grace. We all know. We all see it. That comment was nails 100%. NIL killed the SEC. And it's not changing, guys. And that's why the SEC has fought so much for more regulation within the CSC more than anybody.
Yes.
Because they want NIL to stop and be capped so they can
do.
get back to that competitive nature and get the recruiting grounds back and not go to the highest bidder. That's killing them. And it's killing a lot of programs, but it's killing the SEC as a conference more than anybody. And the narrative shift's already happened.
I agree. In the national mind set, it's definitely the storyline that it ain't it with the SEC anymore. They're not what they were 4 or 5 years ago. Even it is completely changed. And NIL has a lot of bad stuff in it, but I love the idea that players now travel the entire country. There's not a place in the country where you won't find excellent players that can travel and go to schools. So I think the only question would be is, do you ever put a cap on it? I don't think you can cap it, can you, without a CBA? What do you cap it?
I mean, are we going to get to a place where the college players are making more than the pros? I mean, I guess we're all
maybe
pros, NFL, because that's basically what we're doing. Sorsby's trying to get $8 million in the portal. And like you're kind of getting good quarterbacks, but not like game-changing championship quarterbacks.
I heard he's going to get 5 at Texas Tech, but regardless, that's a lot of millions that didn't used to have to go to one player. I think that something just jumped in my head and it just disappeared for a second. I think the main idea is that the portability is something that's not changing, and the schools that can take advantage of the rules as written at the time are the ones that are going to excel the most. So get behind your school's NIL programs and just spend, baby, spend, because nobody's watching the store right now. Nobody's watching the store.
And by the way, I am not counting Ole Miss out in that game against Miami. That quarterback is dynamic. That kid can make chicken salad out of chicken shit. He was back there like his head was on fire throwing passes. And they were just insane passes. So
yeah, but Georgia looked just like a dead puppy on defense. What were they doing? There was nothing they stopped.
Extended bye week.
I'm telling you.
Georgia and Ohio State are the best teams in college football, in my view, and they both lost because of extended bye weeks.
It's crazy.
It's a joke, man.
Daniel Gygax saying hi, everyone. Good to have you here, Daniel. Daniel contributes a weekly show on video on Sundays that will give you a little insight into things that are threads within the college football universe. Daniel does that. Look for those every Sunday. This is Stephen Vitt in the house. Good to have you here, Stephen. That transfer portal, I'm telling y'all. A lot of people are saying that today. Let's quickly talk about Iowa State. Let's just pick a school that's lost their coach. I think Iowa State's almost lost 50. No, they've lost more than that. They've lost 75% of their roster to the portal. The head count was somewhere in the 50s to 60s that were supposed to be back and now are gone. These aren't players that are being replaced. These are players that are leaving. What do you do if you're Iowa State? How do you
rebuild everything, right? The whole foundation, you have to rebuild it from like the bottom, and like you're hitting rock bottom, right? And like with everyone leaving, you've got an opportunity to use what NIL resources to get new players in and start a new realm.
Yeah,
that's where they're at right now. There's no other way to say it. It's almost like just everyone leave and let's start fresh. It's just too painful, you know. Like, man, that happens. Your coaches leave, and like your team just gets absolutely obliterated. Anybody that's any good.
Yep. Moen, you want to say anything about that?
Yeah, I mean, if you're Iowa State, you're going to go back to being Iowa State. Oof. Matt Campbell carried that program on his shoulders.
He did a lot with
he did a lot with very little for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's going to be very hard for me to see them being able to maintain the level of performance they had under Matt Campbell under their new head coach.
I mean, really quick, how many games do they win next year? I haven't
looked. Well,
I
mean, look at NIL. They don't have the NIL capabilities to.
No, they don't.
To do a Texas Tech where they can just go pluck 4 or 5 5-star guys. You know, they've made their bones on taking 3-star guys and maximizing their talent and hiding their flaws, but even 3-star guys now, you mentioned it, Sorsby wants $8 million. He's
not going to get 8.
He wants that. He's a 3-star quarterback.
Yeah.
Generously, if you're being very generous.
Yeah. Go ahead, you bring it up. So who are they playing next year?
There we go. Yeah, this is what the schedule looks like here. So we got Southeast Missouri Redhawks. There's a win.
That's a win.
Right.
Iowa
be a loss. Bowling Green. Okay. Probably a win. Arizona's going to be very good next year. That's a loss.
At Arizona. Yep.
Yeah. Baylor's going to be a dumpster fire. That's going to be I don't know.
That's a toss-up, maybe. Yeah.
They're going to lose at BYU. Look, Utah's going through its own challenges. If they can keep Dampier and Ficklin, Utah probably wins that game. I still think Utah wins that game with this Iowa State team, right? Oklahoma State, they're going to be hitting the portal hard. There's a rumor that North Texas running back.
Yes, that's right.
Oklahoma State. This program's on the rise. You watch them; they're going to be hot next year. That's a loss. Loss at K-State. Here's the dumpster fire of the Big 12 right here. Cincinnati Bearcats. I don't know. Cincinnati's probably the worst team in the conference, so I don't know.
Really, you think they fall that far?
Yeah, I just think I'm going to bite my tongue on Cincinnati. Okay. West Virginia. So West Virginia's on the uppity up. West Virginia wins, and UCF's on the uppity up too. So I think you're looking at probably 3 wins max.
Oof.
Iowa State.
That's not good. We want Iowa State to be good, everybody. We're cheering for Iowa State to be good. The Big 12 needs Iowa State to be good. So this is not good news, what we're talking about here. So we will have to see, but it's nasty. Bob Swinger in the house representing the Penn State Nittany Lions. Can we give him a shout out there, Moen?
Shout out Bob Swinger. Let me get back to something that has a cougar roar on it.
Yeah, let's do that. I love it.
Even though you're not Cougars, you're Nittany Lions.
You're Nittany Lions. There is a distinction. Hey, everyone, is what Bob says. Good to see you tonight, Bob. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody. So I don't have to repeat that 1,000 times. We appreciate everybody being here tonight. Rock Chalk Jayhawk checking back in. Long-standing OG member of the College Football Mafia family. Rock Chalk in the house saying, hey, all long time no see. We missed you, Rock. Woo, woo. Moen got that sounder just for you. We've missed you. Where have you
We
been?
have.
Glad to have you back for sure. Let's see here. Jackson Johnson checking in, representing the voice of college football. He's got the Alabama channel. What's up, College Football Mafia Nation? Good to have you here, Jackson. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. Hope you're doing well. Let's talk. Send me a message. Let's have a conversation. Mark's Holy Grail says Happy New Year to anyone. Not everyone, but anyone. I'm not sure I've seen that before. Sure, why not? Everybody. Let's see. Becky Go Husky says, I have resigned with College Football Mafia. What's that mean, Moen?
I think she's saying she's re-signed.
Oh, okay.
She forgot that re-signed has a
dash. You scared me, Becky. What are you doing?
Becky.
You're killing me, Smalls. Got to have that hyphen in there. It is true, though. You had all these people making fun, taking pictures of themselves, saying, I have re-signed as a fan for X school. We saw a lot of people having fun with that. What do you guys think about those public declarations? Now, it's not just, hey, I'm taking off. We're seeing these guys doubling down and saying, hey, let's run it back. That's certainly what BYU's thing is, run it back.
Oh, I remember last year when all the Utah players like Newton have also said, Utah, man, am I? Then a week later, he flips to BYU.
Did.
So it's only as good as the day that you post that, right? Like, here's the deal, guys. And like the NIL era, too, like these contracts, they'll be the new re-signed. Like I've been re-signed. And like, but there's no teeth to those contracts. You could leave that next hour. So you tell me you re-signed, but then it's only good. Like, what does that even mean? Like, I don't want to. When I see re-signed, I'm like, this is the most pointless thing ever, right? Like, you could be gone in 5 minutes, man. Like, there's no teeth at all. It's just like, it's such a mess, man.
I think this might be the last year we see these. They're kind of goofy. I think people are starting to make fun of them, but we'll see. I don't know. Time will tell. I could be wrong. Next, what is this? The 3rd, the 4th, whatever day that is. We've seen a lot change in the last 2 years with NIL and transfer portal. Anyway, Antoine Johnson in the house saying Indiana was favored.
Oh yeah,
Indiana was favored.
They were favored in the point spread, but a lot of commentators picked against them. Everybody was picking Alabama, and
I think I took Indiana over Oklahoma to carry through.
Okay, well, a lot of Disney affiliated commentators.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay,
Alabama,
so, right.
Figure that one out. Figure out who
Alabama didn't even show up. Was that even Alabama on the field? I don't even think they made the trip. That was embarrassing, honestly. At least Texas Tech's defense showed up and played well. I don't know what Alabama was doing.
Yeah,
that was ugly football. We'll do a few more. James Fitzgerald in the house. Good to have you here, James. Do the bye teams have more time off, as most of the other 8 are off conference championship weekend? They have roughly 3.5 weeks off. Something like that, depending on when
they have the same amount of time. I get what you're saying, James. They're having the same amount of time off, but they're playing a lot sooner than the other teams have played, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So yes, they have the same amount of time off, but they just played a week ago.
That's right.
So they're obviously going to be much more ready for play.
More polished.
Those conference championship games mean almost nothing now, to be honest.
No, they're a huge deficit. I think that you start the playoffs conference championship game weekend. And they can give those teams a true bye, a 1 week bye and stuff. It's a massive advantage. And not a full month bye, though, right? 1 week bye versus a month bye is a big deal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for certain. Yeah. This isn't the NFL, everybody. No matter how much we talk about the way things are structured in college football, NFL, the bye week matters 20 times more than it does in college. Everybody took their NFL experience, projected it on to the college experience last year, and 0-4 speaks louder than anything else. And this year it's 1-3. So now you're 1-7 in bye week games. How does that make any sense? I cannot have anybody. I haven't heard one person say they can explain that in any way, shape, or form. So Anyway, Daniel Gygax earlier said, now I want a whole show with Nate dancing. Okay, really? Okay. I could probably make that work if you guys want that. I can listen to 80s tunes and break dance for you. I can do the shoulder
You
dance.
can break dance. Come on, like he's gonna throw cardboard out and break dance.
I never break dance.
I want to
Never
see
did.
this.
It never happened. It never happened. Mark Bowman, $10 super chat. Good to see you, Mark. Longstanding OG member of the College Football Mafia family. Mark, for $10 super chat, says Iowa has to replace an entire special teams room, coach, punter, kicker, and long snapper, which would really make it tough for Iowa because that's how they score all their points. So,
Well,
what's going on there?
Now, don't say that's how they score all their points because they look pretty damn good in that bowl game.
They did look good. I will agree with that.
And they stopped Diego Pavia.
That guy is such a little gremlin. He's
a gremlin.
He's like a hobbit, like an evil hobbit. Seriously, everything about him. The minute I saw him doing his rock star strut at the, I'd never seen him in person. Like I'd never seen anybody spend that much time focusing on him. I'm sure the SEC did all season long, but I just didn't care to partake. Him coming out there with his brothers, looking like he was a really cheap 2-bit hood, kind of like the guy that Sonny beats the hell out of in The Godfather, throws him over the rail and hits him with a garbage can. And that's how bad he looked to me.
Him and his brothers look like guys you would see in an educational film about venereal disease.
Oh, come on. Wow.
Mo, didn't you make you have
That's
a short
brutal.
about Pavia, don't you?
Yeah,
You
Pavia
have a short-
minis.
I don't understand. I just, whatever.
Pavia
Whatever.
minis. That sums up
Um,
the situation. I think.
And then out of nowhere, Bulldog Mississippi, who has become an
Mhm.
activist member of the College Football Mafia family. We appreciate all you do for us, Bulldog, and keep us coming into that Mississippi State area of expertise. I've always liked the Bulldogs and I'd love to cover them more. He's gifted 5 new memberships, Moen.
Absolutely has. Thank you very much, Bulldog Mississippi.
Woo!
I'll give you a little bulldog bark.
Let's go.
I got to get the you know what I need? I need the cowbell sounder with Christopher Walken going,
Yes.
Eva.
Yes.
And the only cure,
Yes.
well, cowbell.
Can you find that? That's a good
I'm
idea.
sure
You
I
need to
can
come up
find
with that.
Let's
Yeah.
give a little fight song to Mark Bowman.
Yes, please.
I'm sure Iowa's special teams will be back.
Probably.
By the way, Dante B. a moron. Okay.
What?
No.
Trojan
That's a name?
Mr. Dig Dug. I remember Dig Dug.
Yeah,
Oh
great
my
video game.
Rod, Mountaineer in Jersey. You received gifted memberships from our good friend Bulldog Mississippi. Make sure if you're here live in chat, you thank him. If you can't be here live in chat and you're just noticing you got that on the YouTube notification, go ahead and drop a comment here at the bottom of the video. I'm sure he would appreciate it as much as we appreciate him. And with that, I will show you the Diego Pavia.
Than everything, unless you're trying to prove it is. That's why I roll with Pavia Minis. Sleek, smooth, perfectly small. Because when you've got everything else going on, you don't need to let anyone think otherwise. Pavia Minis. Because confidence comes in small packages.
That's so on point, Mo.
Oh my gosh. Somebody made that through AI tools, Moen? Is that how they did that?
I did.
Oh, you
Mo did that. That's
All right. Very
his
good.
creative liberty
Okay.
work.
All right. I love it. Cryptic Mind 6258 says Kurt Signetti just looks like Michael Douglas in a movie called Falling Down. That was the one where he's in the car, right? And he gets trapped in traffic and goes psycho,
Yes.
kind of like Dirty Harry. Yes.
Defense.
Okay.
Defense. That's at the
Defense.
end where he goes, I'm the bad guy. When did that happen? Great movie. I love that movie.
He just gets done shooting a bunch of people too. He was falling down. That was kind of a psychotic movie, actually.
That was a great movie.
Okay, we've made it through all our super chats. We've made it through all of our shout outs. I mean, there's so many people that we're well into the 1,000 comments here. I can't even get scroll to the next comments at this point. We're really getting done. This is something that Rich Austin always giving us powerful takes as we start our show. Certainly, representing the University of Utah, says the SEC is great. Big Ten is greater than the SEC, and then ... ACC is greater than the Big 12. I just everything about that I disagree.
I
What
think
do you guys
those
think?
dots are gaps. I think he's saying there's a huge gap between the SEC and ACC,
Okay,
and then there's a gap between the ACC and the Big 12.
no, it's nonsense. The facts don't bear that out.
The problem is, Nate, like when you don't win playoff games, Miami's ripping off and they can win a title. It's really hard to fight a narrative like that.
But that's
And
one team. We're talking about an entire conference.
It doesn't matter. People
It
care
really
about your
does.
powers
If
in your
Miami
conference.
played in the Big 12, they would have lost more games than the 2 they had.
Well, I don't know, because Miami lost 2 games they shouldn't have lost. So I mean, it's entirely possible.
They didn't. What game did they play? Maybe Notre Dame would be the only one you could shout out to say this is one where they came in and actually played stellar defense, because the Big 12's turned into a defensive conference. So
listen,
I
think
don't-
put
I
Texas
don't know.
Tech up against Miami, I think it probably would have been worse than 23-0.
Well, that's
It's-
arguable.
yeah,
We don't know, because the bye week I think had a big effect on the way they played. So
I had a different
We'll never
perspective
know.
on all this before that football game that we just witnessed. But when you lose 23-0, and the embarrassing thing is the 0 points, right? Like I can't defend anything now. Like if you've got the ACC, that a team that's won 2 playoff games versus what we just saw, I mean, there's just nothing you can say. Like,
Right,
yeah,
and
to me, the top of the ACC is better than the top of the Big 12, and that's pretty dang clear based on Miami's performance, based on the goose egg by Texas Tech, who boat raced everybody outside of ASU. There's just no way to debate it. It's what it is.
You know, what else are you considering that Notre Dame is part of the ACC? Because if you are, an ACC team went to the finals last year.
We're not, so don't do that.
Okay, well, we won't.
That's it. And it's nonsense, because last year the ACC lost 2 games because they got 2 teams in. My point is, lack of access has created a bias, and that bias is now reinforcing itself. As long as you only get 1 team in every year, that's not going to go away. You have to have more teams in to represent, to go out and have chances to play these national games. Just having 1 and having Miami go out and boat race 2 teams, I'm happy Miami did it, but I don't think that's necessarily a reflection on the entire conference. The rest of the ACC was not good, Moen. Duke won it. They were, 8-5? Come on now. You can't say that they could have gone, all those schools could have gone and run through Utah, BYU, and Texas Tech, and they would have had a much, much better season if those guys were in that conference. That's nonsense. We're talking about 1 team at the top of a conference that is darn near dead at this point nationally. And if they go out and show out, that does not mean it elevates the entire ACC. It says Miami's a very good team. I think you're losing the thread.
Here's the thing. I had Daniel Kopsha on Twitter gave me the figures here. Here are the records for the 12-team playoff so far by conference. The Big 12 is 0-2.
Yes.
The G6 is 0-3. The ACC Notre Dame is 5-3.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah, throw Notre Dame out.
That's nonsense, Bowen. Don't do that. I know you're being silly, but you really want to talk about stats. Throw Notre Dame out. That's nonsense.
Okay.
I'm not going to let you do that.
ACC's 2-2.
They're
ACC's
1-2. They're 1-2.
No,
Miami got in this year. That's 1 team. No, I'm talking about the 3 teams that got in. The other 2 were and thrown out last year like they were last year's refuse.
Yes,
Miami came in and has won 2 games, and we're only talking about the first round of games. Who cares what happens after?
I mean, come on, Nate. You can't throw out the second round of games.
No, it's not that easy. ASU was 1 play away from beating Texas and should have had them. If you want to get into questions, let's talk questions. The top end of the Big 12 has been better than the top end of the ACC the last 3 years. Clemson has disappeared. Miami is the only program that's really doing anything, and they were left out last year. I think Miami could have made a run. I think BYU could have made a run. I don't think you talk about the entire conference in that regard. Things have changed. What's Clemson won, 6 games this year? Come on, man.
The Big 10 is 9-4. The SEC is 5-7.
And SEC is another one. The SEC, for the number of teams that have gotten into the playoff, has completely embarrassed themselves.
I totally agree.
Yeah,
Totally
you want to
agree.
look down on the Big 12. You can do that. Big 12 gets one team in 2 years in a row. The SEC's had what? 8 teams? 3 last year, 5 this year have gotten into this thing, and their record sits at 5-7. That's horrible.
I agree, but this is a perception of the SEC. The SEC, it just means more. It means more losses in the college football playoff.
We started off with this comment from Rich, and he's just he has got a mission to get Utah into the Big Ten, and to do that, he has to rip apart everything else that's in the Big 12, and I don't think that's right.
I wouldn't have agreed with this take from him until what I saw yesterday, but I can't disagree with it when the Big 12 just got spanked and Texas Tech beat Utah and BYU multiple times and just whooped them. And they absolutely got destroyed by Oregon. Like, there's just no way to defend it. Like, to me, like,
Texas Tech,
Miami definitely wins the Big 12 conference, no doubt about it. My mind's high. This year.
I don't think that's right. I don't.
They just beat Ohio State. They just beat Ohio State.
The playoff is a different run. To get through the season, it's a different challenge. We already proved, you just said it, Miami and Ohio State have proved you can get on a run and win the whole thing. And that could happen again this year. But the fact that the second round games are not first round games, Moen, the Big 12 got 2 bye week games, and we've seen bye week games are a complete setup for the team that played the week before. So and Rich does this all the time. You take data out of context and you think that it says something, when really, if the Big 12
out of context,
it totally is. The Big 12 has not had any first round games. So how can you say that they can do the same thing? These games are 1-7 with bye weeks. And both of them were bye week games.
It's shown that Indiana showed up and played. It's shown that teams on bye week. See, I don't agree with this bye week argument. You have a sample.
You keep saying that, but the data doesn't prove that that's true.
Yeah, but you've got a sample size of 2 years of the college
next year.
Football
If
playoff.
they open 2 games, they'll still be way down. They would have to go 4-0 for the next 2 years to even make that look. 50,
and that might happen.
Maybe.
I think it's not
out
of
of context
to say this is the total wins and losses for teams in the college football playoff thus far through the 12-team playoff.
All right.
Now, if you want to, we can go back to the 4-team playoff where there were no bye weeks. And, I mean, how is the Big 12 going to look in wins and losses there, even with Oklahoma and Texas on board?
It's my understanding in the playoff era, the Big 12's won 1 playoff game. That was TCU beating Michigan.
Yeah, Oklahoma and Texas did not win any playoff games since the
that was like
started.
Oklahoma and Texas are out, so like, I don't know. I just like, Nate, like, to me, like, this game was so big, and the way that you flopped like that with Texas Tech basically nuked any perception, and like, it's undefendable.
And that may end up being the perception. I don't think it's true. Just because everybody believes it doesn't make it true. Unfortunately, we don't have bowl games we don't have a true playoff where we get more teams in for a conference that will give you a good distinction about how that conference is compared to the other conferences. 1 game, 2 years, off bye weeks, non-home games. It's just not. I don't think it's the right measurement. That's my opinion, anyway. Robert Wise, 6209, a valuable member. Thank you for being here, Robert. $2 super chat says, guys, will 7 through 10 ACC brands help the Big 12 in 31?
Depends on who those brands are. I think that, in my view, if the top ACC schools in football, Miami, Florida State, and Clemson, if they're still fighting and clawing to get in the SEC or the Big Ten and they do not make it, there has to be consolidation amongst Big 12 and ACC. It has to happen. This is not sustainable, this version of ACC or the Big 12. It's not long-lasting. You need consolidation with better brands. You have to have Miami or FSU in that, and Clemson, in my view. I don't see the Big 10 poaching the ACC anymore. Really, I just don't. I don't think
there's a reason for almost any realignment anymore. I think that those days are gone.
I think you've got 30. What is it? So you've got 16 Big 12 schools, and you've got 17. Notre Dame's not even in this.
Yep.
ACC schools. So that was 33 schools. You whittle that 33 down to 16 to 20 schools, and that makes it a third super conference to try to compete. You have to do it if you're serious about football. 16 teams eliminate 17. And so I don't think the Big 12 is poaching anybody anymore. I just don't.
Somebody's going to win that. Somebody's going to win that battle. It's going to
I
be
think
a
they're both
third
gonna
rail.
lose. Yeah.
I think, well, the conferences that may end up happening. I would like to see us walk away from the conferences and just go to an open playoff. Top 16, no buys, and no first 2 rounds on home field advantage. And there's no AQs. Just go. I mean, this year would have been a great year for the Big 12 to show out. It would have been.
Yeah.
You had 3 teams that were really, really good.
And like 2 of those teams
didn't get
got
a
it
chance.
done, but they, even with the eyeballs, like the perception was everything laid on the Texas Tech game.
Yeah,
Everything.
I agree with you. There's no doubt about that. That sucks. Texas Tech losing the way they did. There's no way to paint that as a good thing. But we're talking about 2 different things, and I just don't want to lose sight of that. The playoff is different than winning the conference and the season. You have to just go out and win your games, and you don't play. It's not. You play everybody. These conferences are too big now, so you don't even get a chance to really show out. Both BYU and Utah miss Texas Tech next year.
Right.
Both of them.
Yeah.
So Texas Tech, what, they play ASU? I mean,
And ASU's lost so many pieces. Like, I have no idea who's going to be good in the Big 12 next year. I guess we'll find out.
I know BYU is going to be good.
BYU
I have no doubt about it.
is going to take a step back with Jay Hill gone. I mean, I don't care what you say. I don't care what players stay. Man, that guy was an all-star. We both know it. Like, and not to say
I love
BYU
Jay
still
Hill.
can't
You
win.
bet. I loved him. I love Jay Hill.
And like with, I mean, there's been a lot of blows to the conference. Utah, especially, right?
Yeah, I mean, we needed that. You guys screwed up that Kyle Whittingham thing so much. Could you have done any worse than you did? That's all I'm saying. I blame Utah for all of that. All right, let's move right along. Moen, did you have any other news items that we wanted to touch on, or you just want to go through comments tonight?
We can go through comments. I want to hear what the fans think.
Yeah,
we're halfway through our second 12-team college football playoff. I want to hear from the fans. What do you think? Do you like it? You hate it? Should we go to 16? If we go to 16, we get rid of buys, and there goes the buys argument. How do we do this? What's up? We've got till the 29th of January to show the people in power at the Big Ten and the SEC that we want to go to 16. I think the Big Ten's probably looking at things right now and saying, hey, 5-11 really isn't that bad for us, especially if we keep on winning the way we're winning in the playoffs. So maybe we do get behind this 5-11 thing and get a little something out of it for ourselves. So we'll see.
What would that be?
I don't know. I got a good inkling. I've got an inkling, but we'll see.
I mean, just like in what vein? Just you can.
I think they're probably going to get. I think the SEC wants 5-11 more than any of the other conferences.
That's a fact. We all agree on that.
I think if the SEC, if they acquiesce and say to the SEC, okay, we'll give you 5-11, but we get something from you, maybe a scheduling agreement.
Oh gosh, not this again.
Oh,
maybe. Look, the bowl tie-ins are coming to an end too. I think
I know.
Maybe
bowl games
are tie-ins going to the Dogs. They say, hey, let's put more Big Ten SEC games out on the field in playoff in college bowl games. So I think they're going to get something from the SEC. What it is, I'm not exactly sure, but I think the SEC is willing. I know Greg Sankey is willing to wheel and deal. So if the Big Ten's saying yes, 5-11, then Sankey's saying yes to something else.
Could be. Becky Go Huskies, $5 super chat says last year's rankings are part of the reason they're 1 and 7. Texas and Notre Dame were technically ranked 3 and 4. That pushed Penn State and the Ohio State down 2 spots.
That's right. I think I would agree with that. It's just the performance I've seen the regular season with these teams too, though. They're coming out rusty, guys. And like a month off, you can't shake it like that. That's going to screw you up. And like if everyone's coming into a game with a month off and stuff, it's an equal playing field. But if you're
Which is the way
warming
the
up on
Bulls used to
JMU on your
run.
spring
Yeah.
game over there,
That's right.
then you
That's
bench
right.
starters at halftime and JMU starts scoring points when your starters are out.
Yeah.
That's a warm-up game. And that's a great warm-up game. Guess what? Anyone in the top 25 would beat JMU. That game. It's a warm-up game. And so I think that's a massive advantage. That's momentum. It's really easy to see. These are college-aged kids, professional, paid college-aged kids here. But I hate it. I hate the bye weeks, like these extended bye weeks. I think they're BS. And I think 16 is ideal, and everyone's playing. There's no bye weeks at all. Like 2 weeks of home games, great. And would love to have more than one auto bid because I don't see the Big 12 getting 2 teams in anytime soon, and even in a 16-team playoff.
The SEC, it's interesting. If you look at the second round games, the miraculousness of 2 years in a row where SEC plays SEC, so at least you'll have one SEC team in that next round. I don't think that's an accident. I'm pretty sure they put them in those brackets for that reason, because right now, if there had been a different matchup, there is a possibility there would be no SEC teams in the semifinal round of playoff games, and that is like nightmare scenario for them. So let's see. Time will tell. But yeah, that's kind of where we go.
ESPN invested in the wrong conference, guys. Like based on what happened with NIL, the Big Ten is clearly superior, and ESPN has stuck with the SEC. They're getting ratings because they pump it out. They have ABC games and everything, and they put the premier platform there. But the Big Ten is a superior conference, and that's not changing anytime. So ESPN is going to have to spin this little narrative machine for a while.
That's fair, but keep in mind that the whole Big Ten split from ESPN happened well before NIL was even a factor. That's when they still weren't paying kids when they told
2021.
Jim Delaney, or no, well,
2021.
It was even before that.
No, 21 was the first year of
when
NIL.
they told Jim when they told Jim Delaney, they said, well, you can go out of here and roll the dice if you don't sign this deal. And he said, well, let the dice be rolled, and went to Fox and signed a deal. I mean, that was ESPN's downfall. ESPN's downfall was believed when they were the only market in town. And that has alienated the Big Ten. It still alienates them from the Big Ten. I don't think the Big Ten's ever going to sign another deal that involves ESPN. And the SEC, they don't really have a choice because they're not going to get the kind of sweetheart deal they get from the ESPN that they're going to get from Fox and CBS and NBC because they're after different metrics, different markets.
Very good. Yep. Roll Tide roll in the house. I do have, if Ole Miss wins the whole thing, I've got a whole bunch of gear I got from my aunt that is Southeastern Conference slated. I'll put them all up. If Ole Miss wins the whole thing, you will have nothing but SEC stuff behind me, so you guys can look forward to that if they keep winning. Roll Tide roll says
Nice.
Nate Tech ran through the Big 12, then turned around and they didn't beat ASU, but did beat Utah and BYU and ran through in the CFP. That makes your league look bad. There are already writers writing about it, and I would just say I can't control the narrative out there. There's nothing I can do about that. I can just give my team the resources they need to try to be successful and move on. I will tell the world this. I said this a few weeks ago. I'm sort of over the Big 12. How do I say this? I'm more conscientious about the way they screwed Utah or BYU this year than I ever have in my life. Brett Yormark by himself, and then the conference behind him, completely mishandled everything about the run up to the CFP, and I'm not going to ever forget that. So I will still root for the Big 12 because it's an apparatus for BYU to be elevated, as it were. But yeah, we're looking down the road right now. BYU is becoming more mercenary. You're going to find their communications are going to be more overt. and things are going to change in Provo after this year. Just saying it. You guys?
Fair. What do you think, Mon?
I don't know. I mean, look, it's near future. Maybe if they keep pumping money into Texas Tech, maybe they're going to have that breakthrough. Long-term future, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there's one team that's out, not one. Utah and BYU have been putting money into their programs, but I think Texas Tech is the one that really can go overboard. And when that happens, they might be the one that they'd have to be the one that breaks through.
Maybe.
Brett Yormark, he did you guys no favors.
No, he didn't.
Jim Phillips was the same way with the ACC and Miami. As much as Notre Dame wants to complain about it, rolling a game for 7 or 8 times is funny. It's not an attack on you. It was funny. It made a point. But yeah, you didn't hear a lot from Jim Phillips either. So
yeah,
it was
they both
mainly
were timid little.
and Greg Sankey, even after his teams were losing bowl games, came out there and said, we desaserved 7 teams in the playoff.
He keeps saying it. And Yormark has not figured it out. Sankey has a plan and it's working. It's indoctrination. That's at the end of the day, it's what it comes down to me.
I mean, ESPN, ABC has the ACC and even the Big 12 by the balls, guys.
Yeah,
they're silencing any type of negative criticism. Seriously, that's the only explanation. Why else would you support what Yormark and Phillips are supporting without your partner saying you better shut your mouth and stuff because your next media deal is coming up in 2 or 3 years?
Yeah,
they've got leverage on both those conferences, and so I don't think that they can really go out there and complain too much because they're stuck with ESPN grabbing their ball sacks.
Yeah,
are they stuck though? I mean, look, you've still got Warner Brothers Discovery out there. Might want to make an investment in the Big 12.
Sure,
might. And if you think you've got that shot, you still got to come out there and at the end of the day, you're the Big 12 commissioner, the ACC commissioner. You're supposed to do what's in the best interests of your members, not what's in the best interests of your media partners.
Yes.
So why isn't Yormark coming out and saying BYU got left out unfairly, Utah got left out unfairly, and the ACC, Jim Phillips really doesn't have an argument this season. But, still, why isn't he coming out and saying, when it was Notre Dame, Miami, he should have came out and said something like, hey, we're endorsing Miami, who is a full member of the ACC. We endorse them to get into the college football playoff. Instead of having to sneak diss with social media and Twitter posts and programming the ACC network to play that game 8 times. Who knows?
It was amazing as the season was winding down, how you could see the conferences that knew how to do their messaging. Because it was stark for the schools that weren't, or the conferences that weren't. I'll put it that way. And for probably since the middle of October, Greg Sankey was on all of ESPN, every morning show, every afternoon show. We need 7 teams in this year. We got 3, we got screwed. We want 7 in the playoff, and he was dead serious. And as long as the messaging continues to be that way, and I would be as happy as anybody if the Big 12 went with Warner Brothers, TNT, Fox. I think there's a lot of magic you could do there, but we have to be very careful. You walk away from ESPN, there is a price to be paid. The Big 10 is strong enough to be able to do that. Will the Big 12 be able to fight that? Because if not, then the Big 12 now becomes the Pac-12. Because these other conferences in the West, anything west of the Mississippi, continues to be dragged on. The ones that aren't already called up, and I don't see a win there. So I don't know. It's really complex. Unfortunately,
leverage.
Leverage. I like that. Yeah, leverage is. Yeah, That's a good
And
way to
Warner
put it.
Brothers, it's promising, but looking at the ratings this year, when you're getting like less than 500,000 viewers per game, like 2 to 300,000, like that's not great exposure at the moment.
But-
Maybe that can build. Go
But
ahead.
here's the thing, they're competing against the NFL on those games. If they
I'm
were smart
talking
about,
about the regular season games.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
I understand the playoff
I thought you
games.
were
too.
talking about the playoff games.
Like in the regular season, the Big 12 was averaging like 2 to 400,000 viewers per game for a TNT game.
Yeah.
Like the production quality was great and everything. There was no squawks about that, but it just doesn't get the exposure and the eyeballs like an ESPN game gets. It's a third of it. And so
Yeah.
that's the risk. That's the leverage.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Mark's Holy Grail. You guys are missing one of the most underrated factors. I was counting this, Mark, just so you know, that in my argument with Moen, this is what I was leaning into, but we'll talk about it again. Miami, Oregon, and Ole Miss did not play in their conference championship games and hosted home games. Notre Dame and Ohio State took the same route last year. Big advantage. I couldn't agree with Mark's Holy Grail more. I think that is the secret sauce to the rankings and the requisite schedule. I think if Texas Tech had played JMU, you'd have a playoff win, Moen.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to break it down, look at the teams that had a chance to play a junior varsity before they had to play the varsity 3 weeks later or whatever. It's the advantage is massive for the teams that didn't have to play a conference championship game and were able to play on their home field. I mean, you can't deny that has to be a factor in everything that you're looking at when you're talking about quality and value.
I disagree.
Okay.
That's
All right,
okay.
That's fair. Yeah, that's
I'm
fair.
not going to rehash the same argument, but listen, if you go to 16 teams, guess what? Now you have two games on home field advantage.
I know we want that. We're advocating for that for sure.
I think you're probably going to get it, and you're probably going to get 5-11, and you're probably going to end up with 11 SEC teams getting bids into the college football playoff to placate ESPN.
No,
Man,
I
don't
think
know. After
I
the
think
performance.
5 is the max. I think we've seen enough pushback from the national media and everything to say that has not worked out for the SEC.
If you don't make the championship game and you had 5 teams in the field, Ole Miss has a lot riding on them to win this next game versus Miami.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is a big game. I think you're right.
Flip side, Miami has a lot riding on it to win this game.
I think Miami's playing with house money.
Miami's been there, done that. They got
goodwill.
Yeah, they jumped teams to get into the thing. They are playing with house money. Everything you said is right. They're loose. They have no pressure on them. They just go out and play football. Ole Miss lost their coach, and they're playing with some energy. If they beat Miami, it would be a whole nother level of respect out of me. I think Miami could win the whole thing. It could be Miami, Oregon.
Would be something. Number 8 seed from last year won it all, and the number 10 seed from this year won it all.
It would be. It'd show you the whole thing is screwed up from the bottom up, is what that would tell you. That's what that would tell you, is the entire seeding process is broken if that were to occur. So, and 2 G6 teams in. I'm all for having them one team. That's not a problem, but it should not be. It should go to the next highest rated conference foe. If they've already got one team in, the next spot should go to the next highest ranked team, which in this case would have been BYU, from a conference, which takes Notre Dame and tells them, hey, look, you guys got to change what you're doing.
Well, they've got a memorandum of understanding that says
I know they do. That's why you go to 16 and the memorandum of understanding goes null and void, because it only goes to 14 teams. If they go to 16, Notre Dame's little memorandum disappears. Which we're going to have to dive back into that at some point, because we reported on all of those things. I never saw anything about no memorandum of understanding. Do you guys remember anything about that?
Somebody posted the article.
They did. They did. It just
I don't remember it, but
run.
it probably just went, with another one of those Notre Dame special
maybe
ass tickling teaser things that they managed to get. That
maybe
probably just
I don't know
went
what you're talking about, but okay.
Went right through my eyesight.
Mark Bowman, $10 super chat says Moen is correct. Yormark and Phillips are looking out for their media partners. Yeah, that's true. Than their members. There's no doubt about that. Also, Iowa is losing the award-winning kick and punt returner Caden Wetjen. Is that right, Moen?
Yeah, he'll look good in scarlet and gray. Hopefully.
Moan.
Is that where he's going?
I have no idea, but he's a dynamo. I would love to have him on our team.
Yeah, he's a good player for sure.
Let's talk about Iowa just for a second because
sure, go ahead.
Living this whole Kyle Whittingham experience, like Iowa's in a similar circumstance with Kirk Ferentz, right? Like age-wise with Whittingham and everything. What do you do with him? What do you do with Kirk Ferentz when he wants a 5-year extension?
I don't give it to him.
If you're Iowa, you give it to him.
It's a mistake, though.
So that's basically like the Utah conundrum, right? Like, what do you do? Is like, has Iowa under Kirk reached its pinnacle already?
Yes.
And if that's the case and stuff, then what's the point of this thing if you're not playing for like a natty and getting into the playoff?
He's still winning.
That's the whole discussion.
He's still winning. One, you cannot base your whole strategy on natty or bust. Sometimes you just and he might make the playoffs at some point. He's got pretty decent teams. He's still winning. He took care of Vanderbilt, who was everybody's darling. Vanderbilt was one of the teams that Sankey was bitching about not getting in. Yeah. Well, they lost to Iowa. So,
those games, those bowl games don't mean anything, Mo.
Well, I know they don't mean anything, even though Diago Pavia was out there showing out. They don't mean anything, but listen.
They mean something to the players. They do not mean anything in the national perspective. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, let's give a sounder to Mark Bowman real quick.
Please do, yeah. Let me go deeper than that, you.
But I can go as deep as you want to.
How deep do you want to go?
Pimpin' ain't easy. Oh, sleazy. Pimpin' ain't easy. Pimpin' ain't easy. Pimpin' ain't easy.
Straight up, you guys are screwed.
Is that a super mix? You got
that is a super mix. I just pieced that together. Thanks for the super chat, Mark. Appreciate it.
That is
and I so needed that. Pimpin'
Husker Magic representing those Nebraska Cornhuskers that Utah played. How about a 1 through 16 straight seeded CFP with each P4's top 2? I'd be all right with that. With top 2 G6 and top 6 P4, including Notre Dame. At large picks, BCS ranking. That's what I would like to get to, is more BCS and less stupid committee. This format would have placed Duke at University of Iowa or Indiana. I would agree with that. What is that? Michigan? No. Who's that?
JMU at Ohio State.
JMU. Oh, that's a J. That's JMU at Ohio State. That would have been fair. TU at Georgia. Who's that?
I don't know if he's saying Tulane or the University of Tennessee.
Probably Tulane, I would guess. Yeah. And then Virginia at Texas Tech. That would have been a win. BYU at Oregon would have been a loss, going by what Oregon's looking like right now. Miami at Ole Miss, which we're going to get this next game. And then Alabama at A&M and Notre Dame at Oklahoma. Boy, those are games I'd like to watch. These people arguing about saying the playoff needs to be so much smaller. You look at these matchups, I think those would have been very compelling matchups.
Bring on JMU.
There you go. Yeah. 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 I don't know. I would have loved to see that. I want more games. That's where I'm on record at. I don't really care what they are. I want more games. Becky, go Huskies. Another $5 super chat. Thank you, Becky. Bowls don't matter, but we'll tout the 8 p.m. Pop-Tart Bowl views. 8 million, sorry. They do matter. Fans clearly, as viewership is up for ESPN. I am trumpeting that number. If you take it in perspective, the last 2 years that BYU's had the highest viewership numbers for both bowl games. But as far as for BYU itself, I think the bowl games are silly. I know they're not going away. They're not, but I think if Bomber was the new, doja of all of college football, I would say every team can practice through the end of the year. It's not tied to when your bowl game is, and everybody has that advantage to keep their teams together through the end of the year. And the only teams that play in the off season are the ones in the CFP. I don't care if you have a bowl game, but it's an exhibition.
Mm-hmm.
I was excited when BYU won. How about you? You felt okay, right?
I was excited when Nebraska won, and especially like when you have like something like a coach leaving and you know the portal season might be kind of rough, just to have that game and stuff with the one last hurrah with your team. Like, to me, it's not about the practices because there's so much change now with each roster. You can lose, like Iowa State, you can lose 90% of your roster. You lose half your roster even if you're winning. You can lose your roster even if you're in the Final Four and your Ole Miss and your old coach is trying to pluck them to LSU. And with the coaches, college football is insane. But bowl season, like, it's fun and everything, but it's just an exhibition game, right? That's all it is. Like, it's nothing special like it used to be.
Well, maybe they need to up the stakes. I mean, we talked about Rock, and I talked about this last Sunday. They've got to fix bowl season. One, you got to get rid of tie-ins. I think tie-ins kill bowl season. You're not going to get the best matchups. You're going to get the best possible matchup where you might end up with number 7 ACC versus number 3 SEC.
Yeah.
And, you're not getting the best matchups. You're not creating storylines. I'd like to see them create storylines. And, I know Kansas wasn't bowl eligible this year, but if they were bowl eligible, I'd like to see Kansas play Missouri. Get an old rivalry game started again. Have them, play in a bowl game. I mean, there's other ways that we can do this. I mean, you could even do this where you could have two teams play each other that are going to play the next year to determine who gets home field on it. You could have Ohio State and Texas play each other to determine who gets home field next year. There's got to be ways to fix the bowl season. There are clearly options. I don't know what all the options are. I don't know that I have the answers, but there's clearly got to be a better way that we're doing this. The Pop-Tarts Bowl does it amazing. The marketing, everything about it, it's fun. It's absurd. Yes, you get to eat a big Pop-Tart at the end of the game. Everybody else's marketing sucks. I'm sorry, the Cheez-It guy, King Cheese Ted or whatever.
Pop-Tarts know how to do it. They do.
Yeah,
they got
it's
it.
like, who cares? I mean,
Yeah.
if you want Cheez-It Bowl to make sense, put a swimming pool of freaking Cheez-Its out there and have people diving into Cheez-Its. Having a dude who's in a mascot uniform sitting on a throne with a scepter does not do anything for me. We talked about the Bad Boys Mower Bowl. I've never even seen a Bad Boys mower. Couldn't tell you what one looks like from a John Deere because you don't see them during the bowl game. They're not marketing properly.
No, they're
properly market your bowl games, and then you'll have a good bowl game.
Well, how about this too? What if you actually had multi-year contracts for players where they couldn't leave the next day? Then all of a sudden they're not going anywhere. They're not going in the portal. So all of a sudden you can hold them for a bowl game. Then you just pay them a bonus for a bowl game win.
I think they should get a bonus already. Yeah. I think NIL money should go to these players if they win or lose. For a bowl game, there should be a buy-in. Yeah, with money. Yeah.
The reason for it is because players want more money in the portal or in the NFL. That's why they're not playing. That's why they want to transfer and stuff, because there's no teeth to contracts, because you can re-sign and leave the next day, as we mentioned, and everything. So have multi-year contracts. Do 2-year contracts at a time. When you sign at a place, your 2 years, they own the rights to you just like the NFL.
I would be all for that.
Better bowl games.
Not against it. Yeah, I'm not. And the better bowl games, I think the matchups, I agree with Moen, and maybe you said it too. The bowl tie-ins with the different conferences is just stupid at this point now. You should be able to bring in the best matchup, the best teams that you can grab. It's an open market. If you want to pay a lot for the best matchup, you're going to pay the most money. I know Pop-Tarts and then Alamo Bowl are the two that pay the most right now. But yeah. Anyway, I got to go, guys. My wife's going to be walking in the door any minute, so I'm going to take off. I just want to say Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you so much for all you do for us at College Football Mafia. We've got a big off-season planned please stick around. Lots of tie-ins with other shows, big performers. We're going to bring in more sources. This offseason is going to be the best one we've ever had. And I want to just tell everybody to stay keyed in. Just because the season's over, you would ask the old timers in the comment section. Say, how was the offseason last year if you're new? And they'll tell you how really we blow up in the off season. So please stick around and help continue to build this thing. Mo and Ute, Happy New Year. It's good to see you.
Happy New Year's.
We
Absolutely.
need to get together and do an organizational meeting at some point. Shows you how good our organization is. We haven't talked, but we will do that. So one more thing. Let's see. LC versus the Earth, $5 super chat. Just got finished watching Michigan pound USC. What is the latest news in college football? I'm going to leave that with you guys. I'm going to take off.
All right. Well,
okay.
Thanks
Go
for joining
Cougs.
us, Nate. We'll catch you next Friday or next Tuesday.
Yep. Tuesday. Yep. Tuesday, we're going to do a show. Yep. We'll be there.
All right. We'll see you
Thanks,
on
everybody.
Tuesday.
See you later.
See you later.
Peace.
And I will put this on.
Hey, Mona, I've got a special for you, okay? Here we go. You ready? You ready for this?
I will be as soon as I figure out what I did with this.
We didn't give Indiana the kudos they deserved and everything, so I think that we should just admire Indiana.
Let's not. That damn Indiana oven mitt, freaking bikini.
Arizona Wildcats are getting blown out right now by SMU. Man.
Arizona is getting their doors blown off.
I'll tell you what, man, it's been rough in the Big 12 circles. I will be honest with you, Moan. Real talk, when that Texas Tech game happened, it's like, oh my gosh. I don't know what it would take to repair the reputational damage that's gone on. And plus going into next year with all the portal quarterbacks leaving and the teams weakening, in my view, and stuff, with major coaches like Matt Campbell and Kyle Whittingham leaving, Jay Hill leaving. I don't know, man. It's unbelievable seeing it. How do you fix the Big 12?
Well, here's the thing. I know Nate doesn't want to hear it, but the bowl records, especially the playoff records, do mean something. They mean something. I mean, when you're looking at it, in the Big 12 is 0-2 in the 12-team playoff. The G6 has more representation in the playoff. They've got 3 teams in the playoff. The Big 12's only ever had 2.
Right.
I mean, that's a stunning right there that, hey, if you're going to say, oh, we'll just take the first round out of it. Okay, well, still, the G6 has more teams in it than Big 12 has. ACC Notre Dame, okay, you want to get rid of Notre Dame, it's 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
It's still 2 wins and 2 losses. They're still batting 500. The Big 10 is 9-4, and the SEC is 5-7.
Yeah, the Big Ten's dominating the playoff. But it's interesting too. Nate's not here, so as the rival, I can speak to this too. But it's bizarre that both years BYU was that bubble team for Big 12. And I am a diehard Ute, rivals BYU. I don't like BYU in any which way and stuff, but I can smell something and see something. I don't know what it is with the committee and BYU Cougars, but they really dislike the Cougars. I think unfairly. I don't know what's going on there, but I don't think it's a coincidence, because I truly think if Utah had the same resume as BYU, Utah probably sneaks in the playoff. If they had that win over BYU, it would be a different circumstance based on perceptions for whatever reason.
Bomber and Ute, thanks for the coaches. Happy New Year's. Rough games for us, Moen. At the end of the day, we lost in the playoffs, so Amazing Blue. And you guys weren't in the playoffs. So our loss wasn't as bad as your loss. And I'm a bad man.
You're a bad man, Moan. You're a bad man. Mason Blue's a bad man too for bringing
You
this
know,
up. This is has me a little salty, feeling a little salty tonight and everything.
here's the
Utah's
thing,
getting
though.
absolutely pillaged by Michigan.
You know, BYU, the BYU thing, I don't think that there's any bias there. I think there's probably more bias against the Big 12. And it's because the Big 12 hasn't showed up in playoff games. I mean, the last team that showed up in a playoff game for the Big 12 was TCU. And we have to put an asterisk next to it. I know TCU fans probably don't want to hear this. You got the information from Ohio State that Michigan was stealing signs.
Right.
You were able to use that information against Michigan to craft a game plan that allowed you to trick them on several plays, that allowed you to score several times. So, you know, I think it's more bias against the Big 12 than bias against BYU.
Maybe just some of like the schools in the Big 12. I don't know, man. Like, yeah, that's.
I mean, in BYU this year, listen, the ACC had to get a team in. They were going to put an ACC team in.
Agreed.
So Miami was going to get in there, either Miami or Duke. So they had to put some kind of ACC representation in there. They got their Big 12 representation, which was rightfully earned by Texas Tech. Their only loss was to Arizona State. They, you know, they dominated BYU both times they played them. They dominated Utah when they played them.
Yeah.
And BYU dominated Utah when they played Utah.
They won by 3, Moan. No, it was a good game.
But I mean, that's again, I don't know that it's bias against BYU as much as it is bias against the Big 12. But I mean, you got to show up. If you keep having, you know, if you keep coming to the playoff and not bringing anything to the table, they're going to keep shitting on you. Sorry, that's not a good. It's not a good feeling, I'm sure, but that's 23-0. You can't lay a goose egg out there.
What's happened in college football is the playoff has become the Olympic Games. Nobody cares about what you win in between the Olympic Games. It's irrelevant what you do, what you're ranked or anything. You come to the Olympics and you win medals. You win medals, gold medals. That's the only thing that people see, care about. It paints perceptions. And that's where the Big 12 has faltered, right? And everyone knew that. We talked about that before too, that going into this season, the Big 12 had to win a game. This game was so pivotal. This Texas Tech game was the biggest game in Big 12 history.
I agree.
And it's brutal. 0 points is like, it's not just the fact of the blowout. It's 0 points.
Yes. If it was 23-3, I know people would say, oh, that's a 3 on the scoreboard. That 3 would make an immense difference, in my opinion.
Man,
just in perception. Just in perception. LC versus Earth says West Durham said start the season week 0. I agree. Bulls neutral site games on Labor Day weekend. No conference championship games. 16-team playoffs with no bye weeks. The championship games, here's your problem. You've got contractual obligations. So you're either going to have to pay off your media partners or you're going to have to figure out some other way around that. Bowls, likewise. They want them bowls at the end. They want them bowls in that week, that period between December 15th to January 1st. They want that because that's where a lot of people have downtime. A lot of people are home for the holidays. They can kick back. They can watch that game. They can get inundated with Tony the Tiger and Pop-Tarts and
Pop-Tart guy.
Cheez-It and all those great brands that they want to integrate with. Labor Day weekend's different. Labor Day's weekend's different because Labor Day weekend, man, there's so much good stuff going on that you can just not watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know it's different for Utah. I guess in Utah and Colorado, it's like 70 degrees right now. But I mean, here in Ohio, it's like ball sack shrinking single digits. You don't want to go outside. You don't want to do anything. You want to kick back on the couch and have a beer and watch football. So I don't think you're going to get rid of bowl games. I don't think you're going to get rid of championship games. I do like starting on week 0.
Yes.
I like anything that gets us LC away from competing with the NFL, because we're not going to win that competition. You're going to lose that competition 100 times out of 100. Just, it's too ingrained. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. I appreciate that. We'll give you a little
Isn't LC, isn't he a USC, right? USC guy,
He's
right?
he's a USC guy. Yep.
Yeah, give him fight on.
I gave him fight on earlier, so let's give him some mute saying
They've been sucking you, and you're sick of it. I get it.
I'm not used to being taken advantage of.
That sounder works great together.
I'm not. Oh,
Thank you
man.
for the super chat, LC. It is much appreciated. I agree with some parts on this, but some parts I think you got an uphill battle. So I think Wes is on the right track, though.
Definitely. Like a lot of these ideas here, I think 16 team playoff with no bye weeks, that's a beautiful thing. That's the way.
Fringe elements. Big 12, once again, confirming that it's a bundle of mids. Crazy to think that would change in 1 year. Again, I think if Texas Tech keeps pouring that money in, I mean, they may need a $55 million roster to pull it off, but, you know, they've got that money. They've got, you know, as we like to say, fuck you money. They can certainly do that, but until somebody in the Big 12 steps up and wins a playoff game, you're always going to have this negative. I shouldn't say negative, but you're going to have a less than view of the Big 12 conference.
What would it take? Okay, so why is the Big 12 losing playoff games? Let's dissect this for a second, okay? Like, is it the quarterback talent? Like, this Texas Tech team had weapons on the outside. They had good running backs. They had a good offensive line, and they had a great defense. Quarterback was the only thing, and just being rusty, sheer rusty from being off for so long. I mean, this team was one of the most expensive rosters in the nation and the best defensive line in the nation, 100%.
Here's the thing, and I know this is going to piss off Big 12 fans, but I'm going to say it anyway. They had good receivers on the outside for the Big 12. They had good running backs for the Big 12. They had good quarterback play for the Big 12. There's a difference between, right. I mean, I think it's for the Big. I think you have to not preface it, but suffice it, whatever you want to. I don't know what the word is. I'm on first generation white trash.
Yeah, whatever.
You know, it's for the Big 12, saying we've got good quarterbacks. You've got good quarterbacks, but they're good quarterbacks for the Big 12. Those quarterbacks probably would not play as well in some place like the Big 10, the SEC, or the top levels of the ACC. It's, you know, like Brandon Sorsby wanting $8 million. Congratulations, but he's a good quarterback for the Big 12. He's not a good enough quarterback, I don't think, to go play at a team in the Big 10 and suddenly turn it around. So I think you're saying Texas Tech had good running backs. Good. Now defensively, Texas Tech had a good defense for any conference. I don't think you either have to give that to any, you know, preface that with for the Big 12 they had a good defense. No, they just had a good national championship level defense. But offensively, I think you have to tag everything that they did with. They had good receivers for the Big 12. They had good running backs for the Big 12. For the Big 12, they had a decent quarterback.
Where do you think that Texas Tech would have placed in the Big 10?
They'd have probably been below Oregon. They may have. They'd have been below at least Oregon. They may have been. They may have been below. Right? They may have been below Michigan.
Oh man, Michigan.
Yeah, and I'm an Ohio State guy saying that, so don't yell at me, Michigan fans, about how I'm biased.
I think that they're probably right there in that pocket. Texas Tech's right behind Oregon, clearly, but ahead of Michigan. So I'm that fourth spot.
Okay,
Big Ten.
neutral field. You think Texas Tech beats Michigan?
I do.
Okay,
I do.
fair enough.
And here's the deal: is like Texas Tech actually was better with the backup quarterback that tore his ACL when Morton was out.
See, I didn't watch
Morton
enough.
was the issue.
I didn't watch enough Texas Tech games. I just watched the highlights mostly this year, mainly because their games were on the same time Big Ten games were on. So, conference, this is from Sean. Conference championship games are bringing over $75 million to the conferences. They aren't going anywhere. Yeah, you're going to have to refund them. Not only that, you've got media partners out here selling conference championship games for more than $75 million. So, yeah, TCU won a playoff game. We talked about that, Mr. Monkey says. We did cover that. TCU beating USC was a nice win for the Big 12. It was.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get to catch that game. I fell asleep, but
that was amazing. It was amazing.
They needed a quarterback, Bowen, not $55 million. Well, I don't know how you get a quarterback into Lubbock without overspending. They've already said, this is from Texas Tech's lips, they're spending 30% above the market average to get kids to come play in Texas at Lubbock. So if you've got to spend, you're looking at Ohio State and Miami and these teams that have $35 million rosters, add 30% on that. What do you get? You got to add 30%.
A lot of money.
Kids, yeah, you got to add 30% to get kids to play in Lubbock. So, to each their own.
Man, the backup quarterback, his name is Will Hammond. He was actually a pretty good high 4-star recruit. He's no slouch at all. But what he had that Morton didn't have, he had the dual threat ability. He had the arm of Baron Morton, but he can actually run the ball and push it, more of a dual threat. And that's exactly what they needed versus Oregon. Baron Morton is a statue back there. He plays old school football, air raid style. That's just not how you win in the playoff. And so I think that they would have performed a lot better with Hammond back there. But he tore his ACL. He's also the quarterback that lost to ASU. He was a younger quarterback, so he was more of an up and down quarterback. He's the quarterback that came in when there was a 3-point game in the fourth quarter versus Utah and torched them 21 points in the fourth quarter. So Morton was what was holding them back. And unfortunately, they had the answer that tore his ACL. It's the backup.
Oregon's athletes in the secondary were better. That's not even debatable. That true freshman cornerback they have is a stud, Finney. He was all over the place. I think he ended up with 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery. Pretty damn good for a freshman. They had 4 turnovers and the QB sucked in that game. Will Howard won a natty last year. There you go.
That's true, Mode.
He was a mid Big 12 quarterback. Got put into the
he got pushed out. He got pushed out for Avery Johnson.
Got pushed out for Avery Johnson, and then Avery Johnson had his dad and brother fight each other in the middle of Dublin, Ireland.
Dang.
Sorsby is tripping. I 100% agree on that. $8 million is a joke. Sam Levitt thinks he's going to turn around Kentucky. Here's the thing. I think Sam Levitt's looking more at Will Stein turning around Sam Levitt. And he might be right. That might be the guy that gets Sam Levitt into the first round of the NFL draft.
So again, Sam Levitt's looking for like $6-7 million to be developed for a year.
I think he might take less from Kentucky to have Will Stein develop him. Dave's here. Utah has been the best team in their conference pretty regularly, and my understanding is they got their first 5 stars since they had been there.
That's right. Yeah, the first 5-star in Utah history signed with this recruiting class, and we'll see if we can retain him. That's the funny thing. I should say signed. Currently signed. It's a day-to-day thing for all players.
Right. Until they're on campus playing, Chris Henry Jr. is currently signed with Ohio State, but until he's on campus playing with them, Brendan Sorsby could earn $5 million at Nebraska as Dylan Raiola's replacement. Yeah, you're probably gonna have to, because the cabinet's pretty damn bare in Nebraska. They kind of went all in on Dylan, and he didn't pan out.
I don't know what's like. I mean, like, you'd have a good pulse on this. Like, Utah did play Nebraska, right? The Vegas Bowl. Utah was able to run the football, move the football in the second half, and score a bunch of points. But like this Nebraska team, I haven't watched a ton of Nebraska football here and there over the last couple of years. But what is going on in Lincoln? Like, this does not remind of old Nebraska teams. Like, that defense did not have the physicality and size that I remember of Nebraska teams at all. What is going on in Lincoln?
That's been an ongoing problem since they fired Bo Pelini. Of the current members, 1990 Colorado was the last national champion from the Big 12. Just need patience. And I think before that, you would have to go back to BYU winning one in 84.
Yep. Well, Utah did win the 2008 national championship. One of the
computer polls. Texas fans made the excuses. Computer polls. That's like my mom thinks I'm cool, you know. Tech fans made the excuse that ASU beat their backup quarterback. So I'm not sure which way Tech fans want to lean with their QB theories. Great point.
Hey, let me show you something, okay?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, let me share screen for a second. I think you'll find this really interesting, okay? So if you want to talk, I got to be real with you here, all right? Here we go, okay. Sharon Wright. This is from the reputable news source of Deseret News, okay?
Yep. You've got that bookmarked on your bookmarks toolbar, don't you?
I don't. I just simple Google search right here. So Utah has a claim national championship right here for 2008. See, the computer ranking placed unbeaten Utah above BCS winner Florida. Just saying.
And I believe that was the year that Florida beat number 1 overall wire-to-wire Ohio State 41-14, correct? Or was that the year previous?
That game. I just recall Utah blowing out Alabama.
Okay. I'm just saying, I think that was the infamous 41-14 beatdown. Florida took out Ohio State. So
I'm just saying, like, if you're going to say the last national championship, the last claimed national championship was Utah.
Okay. Let's give it to him. We'll give it to him. Wet Blanket 1977. Good to see you, sir. Says, I think Oregon corners were the difference. I definitely think that one corner was Finney Jr. He was out there.
Yeah, he was good.
Marcus Williams says, Mo, and this might be the first year the Big Ten has more draft picks than the SEC. That's the last leg the SEC fans have to stand on. Yeah, now that everybody can get paid above board, suddenly you're noticing talent is being dispersed more evenly across the college football field.
The day of the bagman is over.
And parity. I mean, parity.
Yeah, depth's an issue for everybody now.
Mr. Monkey says Kansas should be 2020 NCAA basketball championships. That's where we get into where we're going to say we're going to make claims of who is the national champion, who isn't. We all agreed to the BCS system. The BCS system said Florida won that year. I'm going to stick with it. Yes, Bulldog, Mississippi's got it right. Utah and Auburn keep winning championships in the postseason somehow. Keep finding them. You just look under your seat cushion and you'll find them. Got to look under your seat cushion. Before we go, let me go ahead and do this. We'll get this out of the way for the rest of night. Let me do this. Membership gifting. Let's get rid of these last 5 for January. and everybody will expire at the same time. Roll Tide 136. Matthew Carlson. Smash the Numbers. Lee 65. Cryptor Kid. You guys are all now members of the College Football Mafia. You can enjoy our new members only videos. All the emotes in chat, you can get Utes O face up there if you really want to. Here we go. I will post it in chat. There you go. You can get Utes O face. You can get me as
Stop
Dr.
it,
Love.
Moan. No.
You can get Nate smiling like an idiot. Look at
Pimpin'
that.
ain't easy. Pimpin' ain't easy.
Hose be greasy. You can use all those chats now. So use them in chat if you're here. Please view our members only content. Like I said, we'll have a new episode coming out. Not this week, but next week at some point, where Moan will be talking about something that's going to make the ACC and Big 12 mad, and something that'll make the Big 10 and SEC happy. And I got to go through here. I think we need to add some more. We need to add some more emotes, because I think we've got enough members now where we can add some emotes. So
I want to
give me
2008 national championship emoji.
There you go. To the hypothetical championship, hypothetical national champion. We will add that emote. Let me know in the comment section any emotes you guys are thinking of that would be good to add. I will try and add them. I know a lot of people like to post Super League. We're not having Super League, guys. It's all about the big and the SEC. Just saying. All right, do you have anything you want to say before we take off out of here tonight?
Big changes in college football. The SEC dominance is over, and the Big Ten dominance is here to stay. Especially the narrative will shift, despite what ESPN wants. If Ole Miss loses to Miami, watch that. The narrative shift has already gone against the Big 12 conference, and it's painful to see. But when you put up a goose egg in the biggest game in conference history, it's inevitable. We need auto bids desperately.
Okay. Get this comment up here. Chauncey says Texas Tech with the Cody Campbell help still doesn't mount to the Big Ten yearly media payout. My question is, why isn't the Big Ten teams much better? Again, Big Ten 9-4 in the 12-team college football playoff. 9 wins, 4 losses. SEC 5-7. Big 12 0-2. The G6 has more representation in the 12-team college football playoff than the Big 12. So I'm not too worried about the Big 10. I'd be more worried if I was the SEC, because at 5-7, you're getting numbers in there. You're getting a lot more teams in the playoffs, but that also racks up a lot more losses for you. So you might be better off getting 3 or 4 great teams in the playoffs than getting 7 mediocre teams in the playoffs. But just my opinion. I could be wrong. Put the Indiana logo in a bikini as an emoji. Becky's just evil. Just evil. Pure evil. For myself, for Nate, for you, I want to thank everybody for tuning into this episode of the Big Freaking Friday Show. I will catch you on Sunday with Rock. I'm sure he'll be gloating on our next episode of Mowing After Dark, and then you will catch you next Friday on another episode of the Big Freaking Friday Show. Do you have any videos coming up this week, you?
I do. I'm actually going to be breaking out the ACC viewership with the brand initiative with Rock and Rant. So look for that to post this week.
There you go. Sounds very interesting. Can't wait to see it. We need a Becky emoji. Becky, get me a picture of you drinking that Mad Dog 2020, and we'll make a picture of that. We need a Mad Dog 2020 bottle as well. So,
oh my gosh, it's Mad Dog season, isn't it?
It's Mad Dog
It's
season.
our annual Mad Dog.
And Skyline Chili. We'll get Skyline Chili on there as well, just so we can get all the terrible things in life on there. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. I want to especially thank everybody who offered us support. Evil Badger, Caden the Diesel Freak, Becky Go Huskies, Marcus Williams, LC versus the Earth, Rock and Rant, the other Gygax, Mark Bowman, Bulldog, Mississippi with the 5-piece gifted membership. 5 times. Robert Wise, Becky Go Huskies again, Mark Bowman again, Becky, LC versus the Earth, Amazing Blue. Thank you all for coming in, helping us out, helping us keep the lights on here. We do appreciate it. We will catch you guys next Friday.